Of the front row, second row of the grid. Bernd Schneider starts Mercedes number 6, and alongside him on row 3, Stefano Comandini in the first of our Ferraris. Karim Al-Azri starts the number 9 Milner Motorsport, the fastest Porsche. Mike Parisi in the Heiko Motorsport number 7 car, and behind them Louis Machiels and Jacques Villeneuve completing row 5 of the grid. Of your screen, watch the lights, watch the response. It's a long hold and away they go. Great start from both BMW drivers and from the Ferrari. Second, fourth, go to first and third. No, they don't. Machiavici gets the McLaren in front, but BMW's second and third. Rob Bell in fourth place on the grid. The Ferrari up to fifth, ahead of a very quick starting Porsche. And that was the number 9 car of Karim Al-Azri. He made a great getaway.
And you mentioned also how Comandini was looking for a way round, really on his toes at the start of the race. Well, he is under investigation for a false start. So Comandini is under investigation, possibly for a jump start.
And carry the momentum onto the back straight, but it didn't work for him. Afanasiev, is he pulling out of the way now? He is. Now that's very savvy driver from the young Russian. Much better not to keep yourself in that pressure cooker of emotion. And let's think now what's going to happen in Afanasiev's mind. Right, he's quicker than Afanasiev, all closing up.
You've also got back markers because we had a replay of the 66 Porsche running across the escape road, Christian Bracke, and he has just been lapped there by Rob Bell. The leading quartet has gone past that car. There's also been a change of driver because Christian Bracke was yesterday sharing with Timo Rumpkeil, and today by Beitske Visser. In terms of when the car is released, as there is a replay of Parisi's very brave move up the inside, but to be fair, Al-Azri gave him racing room. He didn't really make a big issue out of that, and this took part at the end of the GT1 World Championship season when the concrete wall went back a fair old way, and Jelmer, who was certainly lucky to get away, as Kekler runs wide, and he has to come right back across the road and defend from Jelmer Berman. It was a mistake by Kekler. He swung back across the road and defended from the Dutchman, but as they come onto the pit straight now, they're nose to tail, and Jelmer Berman there had an opportunity, but it was taken away from him by Kekler sticking out his elbows and hanging onto the place. And can Berman do anything about it here into turn 3? No. Turn 4 is not a passing opportunity, nor is 5, but if he gets a good run onto this straight, he might be able to challenge under braking for turn 6. And look now, Machiavici is storming away. Kekler making that mistake at the end of the lap, oh so nearly lost the place to Berman. And it has in, and the tyre change goes on accordingly. Now, the lead gap has come down. Machiavici is being caught a bit by the BMWs. The gap is down to 3.8 seconds as Jos Verstappen gets in, and of course Jacques Villeneuve has to help with the belts here. It's not like a Formula 1 race where everybody does it for you. It's all about teamwork.
Very quickly indeed. And is this an incident with the wall? No, it is the two Vita for one Ferraris just doing the gentleman's excuse me and somehow working a way through on the inside. This was his in-lap. Well, yeah, Comandini moment. He was a little further down the order, but that is the car we're looking at. Fred Machiavici, 36 Ferrari rather. There is Fred Machiavici, and there's Mike Parisi, comes in as well, right behind him. He was second on the road. Now Jelmer Berman is the race leader, yet to stop. Yet to stop also is Christian Engelhardt in his Porsche. He's going right the way to the end of the pit window.
So Jelmer Berman now leads the way, but of course has got to serve the pit stop, and the fascination is going to be to see, of course, whether or not Lauda can maintain track position over Berman, which will become Malhoff's car once that has made its pit stop, and also to make sure track position is maintained over Mike Parisi. You're thinking, well, how can you gain on a pit stop if it's to a controlled time? You can't necessarily gain, but other teams can lose. If they do a slower pit stop over the 75 seconds, then of course that plays into the hands of the opposition. Right there is Stef Dusseldorf blasting out of the pit lane. He, of course, will have gone a lap down as Jelmer Berman is in this time, and there he is. So all the brake dust flies out of the front as he stands on the anchors. The new wheels and tyres come out. Nikolaus Melhoff is there as well to take over the car. A bit less panic around these pit stops compared to natural pit stops, not done to a time limit in other categories. But Berman will get out and then help to strap in Nikolaus Melhoff, and as that is going on, the mechanics work their way around the four corners of the car.
Now, the McLaren, I reckon, to be a couple of corners ahead of the 33 BMW. I think, as it settles out, that the McLaren may have gained a little time during the pit stop and certainly not lost any, and it has...
Doesn't take it, over the line behind him. Lauda is right on his tail, Perez is right there as well.
Again, he is holding up his teammate and making him vulnerable to attack from behind and making more mistakes, which will hold up his teammate even more. Again, I'm saying, why is Michael Bartels not on the radio going, get in now get out of the way, give Matthias a chance to fight. He's stuck behind his teammate. He's got one hand tied behind his back.
And too many mechanics are trying to get a reprieve. We've had the change, have we not? Because the McLaren shows third now. It's gone by. So Perez has got himself past Lauda, and he's going to be able to find a way past Melhoff. Is he on the inside? He lines up.
Melhoff, knowing he's got a penalty, has got to let him go, even though now it is a position change. And through goes Lauda as well. It is McLaren 1-2, and I tell you what, Alvaro Perez must have been feeling pretty disgusted with himself for planting the car in the barriers during...
Carriage a lead battle in the last few minutes of the race, but I reckon they'll be much closer.
So McLaren slows right down. That's Perez. That is Alvaro Perez. Gearbox problems in morning warm-up for Rob Bell. He said, we've got everything crossed. That yellow corner on the windscreen strip is the number 18 McLaren. It is Alvaro Perez. He is cruising into the pit lane. The gearbox has not held together, and that is the end of the question as to whether or not he can win this. I think he had the pace to catch Dusseldorf.
Two cars.
There is the Porsche on the exit between turn 5 and turn 6. It is way offline, and a lot of race directors would leave it there for the duration.
Dusseldorf made life easy for the officials there, didn't he, by braking to slot in behind the safety car. Now, how long is it going to take to move this car out of the way? It's not the moving that's the time-consuming bit. It's getting the snatch vehicle there in order to drag it clear and up the escape road. After that, we should be OK.
Again, we've only got 8 minutes left. It is so far off the racing line, even the drift cars haven't left rubber marks there. I'm saying that we are going to in. The McLaren has raced away. There is a Porsche behind him on the road, which is the 88 car of Hakim Ara.
Schneider getting on in his quest to get himself through the traffic.
No, he hasn't got by the
He's still got Greg Franchi ahead of him, so he needs to find a way through. Can Melhoff, in the meantime, come back at Matthias Lauda?
Well, Schneider's flashing headlights are going to burn the paint off the back of the Ferrari. But the Ferrari will be getting a lap ahead of him. Franchi is ruining a battle for the podium here.
And look at Edwards up the inside to try and get past Book. Is he going to do it? He tries to Mercedes spins. Porsche makes contact. Nick Tandy is there behind them, but Sean Edwards has muscled away through. Well, maybe that was the only way to do it.
Has he got damage? There's 2 minutes to go. Of course there's going to be some contact if push comes to shove. It will come to shove, and he goes through. Sean Edwards moves up. The stewards might not like that later, but at the moment he is in 5th position, and he moves by. Behind him in 2nd place will be Matthias Lauda, but who's going to get to the line? Hold the shot. Here comes the BMW. Here comes the BMW, and here comes the Mercedes. Schneider not close enough. One last lap would have been enough for a lunch. He takes 4th position in the Mercedes, ahead of Sean Edwards in 5th spot and Maximilian Buch in 6th position. Wow.
Schneider was only 0.395 of a second away from the BMWs. We said he might need one more lap. Had he had it